There were dark clouds most days. A storm moving in. Unnoticed mostly, like a pot in the background rolling on a low boil. The heat was always present under the surface. A pilot light, always lit, ready to spark a fire. I could feel it. I knew it was there. I pretended it wasn't, made excuses, lied to myself that it was under control. Heat was a language used by so many around me. Growing up hearing it seemed to make it okay. Familiar. Not just excusable. Normal even. I'm not an angry person, I would tell myself. Just frustrated with the situation sometimes. I was stressed or tired. Why is everyone so sensitive? Certainly wasn't my fault. But like a stream of lava just under the crust, my heat was looking for an opening. It vented occasionally in small, violent bursts, like breaking something when no one was looking. Constantly cursing under my breath, or shouting at another driver in traffic. But the pressure and the heat would steadily build. Building and building, I could feel the heat rising in my cheeks, my chest, my hands. I never selected a target, really. Most were undeserving. Last in, first served, mainly. The last straw on the back of my tolerance, the first to be served a blistering hot arrow. A sudden, violent flash eruption. A tornado of feelings, few of them relevant, but all very real. An uncontrollable storm. If only for a moment. And then I met her. A peaceful lake to my stormy seas. A beacon of light in a dark tunnel. The kind of person you'd give anything for. All you need is love, right? Knowing her would change everything. I would change for her. I would be different. I would never hurt her. I love her. But then I did. In a terrible moment, that lie that I had things under control was burned to the ground by the heat that surged inside me. It bubbled up from within, like a bile-rich vomit that can't be held back. Another blistering arrow unleashed from my own mouth. I hurt her, and it was my fault. I realized I'd been hurting everyone close to me. I hurt myself. But the absolute worst part was, she was afraid of me. The person I wanted to protect most in the world, and she was afraid of me. Suddenly, I was afraid. I felt alone. I was scared and lost. My life was out of control. And then, a beacon of light. The light at the end of the tunnel got brighter. I realized it was never really her. She was a remarkable influence, to be sure, but she wasn't the answer I needed. It was him. It was always him. The light of the world and the father of lights. Someone willing to sacrifice himself for the freedom of others. And that's exactly what he did for me. He started with shining his light over the real source of the heat, revealing the root of my pain. A memory, buried deep for decades, locked away before an age I could even process it. I felt the heat rising, and mistakenly aimed it toward the light, the one who I thought should have protected me. I found myself screaming at him, "Where were you?" Where were you? Gently, he responded, "I was right there with you, son." And then I saw it. The light, with his arms wrapped around that little boy like a seatbelt. He was weeping with grief when he whispered, "A seatbelt won't prevent a crash, but it'll hold you tight in the midst of the chaos." See, his words didn't change what happened, but they did change how I saw it, how I felt about it, and now, how I remember it. He spoke again. "What happened to you was evil, and I would never." And with those words, the heat left me. I wasn't angry anymore, not with the light, not with my abuser, and surprisingly, not even myself. The heat from the fire of injustice was gone, and in its place, compassion, grace, and understanding for the horrors my abuser must have endured. No one would hurt a child if they themselves hadn't learned from such suffering. Forgiveness was like syrup to my bitter soul. Suddenly, the enemy who'd won so many rounds was knocked clean out of the fight. No way to approach where I wouldn't see him coming. The arrows of temptation were still flying, sure. But now I could see them for what they were, and fend them before they found a home. Then, like a gentleman, fighting fire with fire, he took that heat from me and he created a forge. Skillful hands shaping me, the heat softening, hammer and anvil smoothing my edges. And at the quench, he cast out the heat forever. It is finished. The fire, now extinguished, left behind as a weapon ready to be honed. Polished and sharpened by the teaching of the word. A weapon undeterred by the heat from others, ready to fight battles alongside those who've also been burned. Cutting away the roots of hurt. Moved by the symptoms of injustice, but not overwhelmed. Motivated by love. Overcomer. It's not perfect, even still, but she will tell you it's night and day different. Our speech, our life, our love, our faith, and our purity have all been changed. See, it's not self-help if we can't help ourselves. Only the light can do that. Truth? It's deliverance. Salvation. It's true freedom. To learn to trust. To humble ourselves and to be vulnerable. And to tell the story for those who might listen. That God is good. That He has good purposes for us. And the main purpose is love, the way He designed it. Because, well, He is love.
Someone said your name had to turn around. Suddenly you're there standing in the crowd. Everything comes back in the blink of an eye. It's like you're mine, you're still mine. We skip the small talk, cause you know me better than I know myself. Oh my, it's been a while now since I saw you, but it feels like yesterday somehow. Time has stopped, nothing's changed, we're the same. And we skip the small talk, cause you know me, yeah, you know me like nobody else. Skip the small talk. It's been a while now. Skip the small talk. It's been a while now. Skip the small talk, cause you know me better than I know myself. Oh my, it's been a while now since I saw you, but it feels like yesterday somehow. Time has stopped, nothing's changed, we're the same. And we skip the small talk, cause you know